Welcome back everyone. Today's video is extra special because it's all about the holidays. As you can see, everything in the game is Christmas themed, holiday ready, and looking super cute. So let's dive into the festive updates and see what's new. Let's start with a cool suggestion that I got from a comment. You should add variety and rocks into the dirt. It would look sick. So I went ahead and did just that. Now there are 5 variations of the dirt tiles in the game. The tiles with big rocks are pretty rare, while simpler tiles with real rocks appear more often. Every time I paint a tile map, the rocks randomly appear based on the probabilities that I've set. Here's how it works. The big rocks show up about 2% of the time, the small pebbles show up around 10% of the time, and the rest of the time you'll just see plain dirt, just a simple brown color. This adds some nice randomness and variety to the environment, and check it out, I think it looks great and really adds a layer of detail into the game. Thank you for the suggestion. Next up is an update to the slicing mechanism. Before, the slicing would only work on the very first object that the raycast can detect. So if you try to cut 2 things at once, it just wouldn't work. This was because of how raycasts work in Godot. How they work is they would only detect the first thing that they encounter, and then it will stop checking the next thing. And to fix this, I used a little trick. So now, every time the raycast detects an object, I'll add that object into the raycast exception list, and then rerun the raycast again. It's like telling the raycast, oh, you found something? Okay, ignore that and try again, that doesn't count. This way, I can detect everything within the raycast instead of the very first object. And now I can slice multiple things at once, and honestly, it feels so much more satisfying. Now that we can technically slice any number of objects at the same time, we need a way to be able to show the slash line effect for every single object that gets sliced. You can see that if I slice 3 things at the same time, there are 3 slash line effects that gets created, played, and then destroyed. But if you think about it, this whole game is about slicing and cutting things, so it's kind of the main mechanism. So this slash line effect is bound to occur very, very often. So every time we need to play the slash line effect, we don't want to instantiate a whole new effect and then destroy it and then do it over and over again because slicing is so common. Instead, I've used a simple object pool pattern that allows me to reuse a previously finished slash line and play the effect. So if there are no available slash lines in the pool, or all of them are currently playing, then I just create a new one and then add it to the pool and play the effect. Once it's finished playing, I don't destroy it and keep it in the pool. So the next time I need to use it again, I can just grab it and play it again without having to keep making new things and destroying things. The reason why I wanted to use an object pooling system is because when you want to create and destroy the same thing very, very often, it usually uses a lot of computational power at runtime. So instead of remaking and destroying the same thing all the time, you can just have a pool of the same thing. Every time you need it, you just pick the next available item from the pool, use it, and then put it back into the pool and hide it from the screen, but it still exists in memory. So then you don't have to keep making and destroying things. It's always there for you to use. In the Christmas spirit, I've given our little hero a Christmas hat and a green sweater, and changed his weapon into a candy cane sword. The way that I drew these is that each piece of clothing and weapon is drawn in a different layer in Sprite, so in the future I can easily export just the Christmas outfits and then add it into the game as an in-game item. This way we can have different styles and clothing and weapons that the player can unlock and find in the game, and then each outfit can have a different stats that can help the hero fight different monsters and bosses. Here's how all the animations look before and after the Christmas vibes. I think it looks really cool, and it's such a simple and easy way to add a bit of style into the game. The festive makeover didn't stop there. I've also added snow to the grass tiles. So just like the clothes, I can turn it on and off in Sprite because they are drawn in a different layer. And in the future, I can export both versions so we can have a town with normal regular grass and also a town with snow grass for winter. Honestly, it's not Christmas without decorations. So I added 2 festive objects that you can slice and cut down. The first one is the Christmas tree. It's got a star at the very top, some ornaments and some decorations around the tree, and a light dusting of snow. And the second thing that I drew is a snowman. It's rocking a scarf that matches the hero's red color and a cute little hat. I actually had so much fun brainstorming and drawing these 2 things. and it's nice to take a break from coding all day and do something different. And drawing pixel art is something I need to practice and improve on. And then finally, to put everything together, I've added snowflakes. I use the CPU particle system in Godot to create these specks of snow that falls down from the sky. It travels down really slowly and really gives this Christmassy vibe to the whole environment. And I really love how it makes everything fit in together really nicely. And then for the bigger snowflakes, these are the things that you can actually slice and destroy, so they can't be emitted from the particle system that's built into Godot. I had to create my own custom particle emitter that you can use to emit anything, because the Godot particle emitter doesn't allow you to emit more complicated things that has logics to it. So in my own custom particle emitter, I can emit anything that I want. And in this case, it's a snowflake that you can cut and slice. One thing to make sure is that each custom particle should have a way to die and clean up itself. In my case, they can only survive for 10 seconds and then fades away and get destroyed. This is because if your particles don't have a lifetime and keeps generating, over time it could have generated so many particles in the game and starts to slow the computer down. And that's why your particles should always have a way to be destroyed, either by the environment, the player, or by itself. Thanks for watching the video. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys next year.